All right, we're going to start with graphing a composition. Remember, a composition is two, it could be more, but in this case it will be two transformations. We're going to look at a transformation of a rigid motion and a dilation. So it will be some rigid motion, could be a reflection or a rotation or a translation combined with a dilation. So if line M is represented by the equation x equals -3, what is the graph of the image of this composition? So friendly reminder, when we have two transformations with that little open circle in between, that's a composition. And then when we have our composition of our transformations, we always start with whatever the second one is that's listed, the one after the open circle. That capital D is a dilation, so we're going to start with a dilation. And that 0.5 tells us that the scale factor is 0.5 or 1/2. And then because it does not give a center of rotation, the center of rotation will be the origin. Not rotation, center of dilation. Sorry, center of dilation. So let's go ahead and do this dilation, and then we will follow that up with a reflection. That's the second thing we will do. So we're going to do a dilation with the center of dilation at the origin. So let's draw straight lines from the origin through each vertex of our triangle. So we're going to draw, there's one, and I'm doing my best to draw straight lines. I don't have a good way to do a ruler on an iPad. So these are just the lines that go through your vertex. And then what we do is we measure from our center of dilation to each vertex how many units that is. And because our scale factor is 1/2, we're going to cut that in half. So the only one we really can count exactly is this vertical line. You can count your vertical and horizontal lines. We can see that's going all the way up to a 10. If we cut that 10 in half, we know that our B prime will be at 5. So I'm going to label that B prime. And our B prime will be kind of our middle triangle before we get to the final image. We are working on a composition of our pre-image. All right, so next, to find the middle of, basically from the origin to A, you can count that by looking at the rise over the run. It's just kind of a little way to get there. So if we notice we go up 4 and over 2, can we find the halfway mark between those? Well, instead of going up 4, we would go up 1. Instead of going up 4, we would go up 2, because we're going half. And instead of going over 2, we're going to go over 1, and see how that puts us right on that line we drew. So this is where A prime will be. So let's go ahead and mark and label A prime. And then let's take a look at the rise and the run to get from the origin to point B. So it has a rise of 8, and so up 8 and over 2. So we're going to cut each of those in half. We're going to go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. And this is where, I labeled that B wrong. This is where B prime will be. Did you guys notice I did that? So I'm going to grab my eraser. This B prime right over here, if it will let me erase. There we go. That should be C prime. So let's go ahead and draw in our middle figure right here. So we just did the dilation of 0.5. After that, we're going to do the reflection across line M. And then if we remember, they did tell us that line M is the equation x equals -3. So we go over to our graph. We're going to draw in x equals -3 as a vertical line crossing through the x-axis at -3. So here's our reflection line right here. We're going to reflect across this blue line. So let's be careful not to mix up. We do kind of have a lot of lines going here. There's our reflection line of -3. So to do our reflections, just a reminder, it's been a while. We're going to go A prime, B prime, C prime. You just count how many units horizontally is it to the reflection line and then go that many units to the other side. So A prime is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the other side. And we're going to label that A double prime. Then we'll do the same thing with B. B is 1, 2 units, so go 2 units to the other side. And we label that B double prime. And then C prime is 1, 2, 3 units, so go 1, 2, 3. Label that one C double prime. And then we can draw in our image. And then just to summarize, A double prime, B double prime, C double prime, actually triangle, A double prime, B double prime, C double prime is the resulting image. Remember, whatever we end up with is always called the image after this composition.